Hello students, today's program is the Bachelor of Science for the first year. The subject is the Botany for the semester 1. The paper code is VOC 101 and the paper title it is the Biodiversity 1, which is Microbes, Algae, Fungi and the Bryophytes. So the title of the unit it is the Microbes and the module name is the Economic Importance of Bacteria and the module number is the 17. So the outline. So from this module we will be learning about the useful bacteria in agriculture and the industry, and we will be also learning about the harmful bacteria to the humans and the plants. So the learning outcomes. So from this module the students they will be able to explain the role of beneficial bacteria in the agriculture and the industry. We will be also able to describe the effects of harmful bacteria to the humans and the plants, and we will be able to cite the different examples of the bacterial diseases which is caused by the different groups of the bacteria. So the economic importance of bacteria. So these bacteria they are very important for the humans and the plants. They are of the great beneficial. The humans they uses these bacteria for the various purposes. So the useful bacteria they are of great benefit to the agriculture as well as for the industries. Whereas these harmful bacteria they affects the humans, the animals and the plants in the different ways by causing the different diseases in them. So first we will be learn about the useful bacteria. So these useful bacteria they plays a vital role in the agriculture. So the many species of the saprophytic bacteria and the symbiotic bacteria what they do is they increases the fertility of the soil by providing the nitrogen to the plants. So why this nitrogen is important for the plants? This nitrogen it is the important nutrient for the plant growth. Henceforth the plants they require this nitrogen. There are several groups of bacteria which plays a role in the providing the nitrogen to the plants. First group of bacteria we have is the ammonifying bacteria. What they does is they act upon the dead animals and the plant tissues and they degrade them. They decomposes this dead organic matter into the ammonium compounds. Basically what they does is they act on the proteins and they convert it into the ammonium amino acids and basically into the ammonia. So they are also known as the putrefying bacteria. The humus which is produced during this process of decomposition it is also can be used for the fertilizer of the plants. So the examples of the bacteria here are Bacillus subtilis, Bacillus mycoides and the Bacillus ramosus. So next group of bacteria we have is the nitrifying bacteria. What they does is the ammonia which is produced by the ammonifying bacteria it is converted into the nitrites. This is done by the use of the Nitrosomonas bacteria. This Nitrosomonas what they does is they oxidizes the ammonia to the nitrites, and then next the Nitrobacter it oxidizes these nitrites to the nitrates. So this nitrate is the form of nitrogen which is basically used, it is utilized by the plants. So these nitrifying bacteria they increases the nitrogenous compounds in the soil. Next we have is the nitrogen fixing bacteria. We have two kinds of bacteria here. We have free living soil bacteria and ones which lives in the symbiosis association with the plants. The free living bacteria we have that is the Azotobacter and the Clostridium. What it does is they fix the atmospheric nitrogen to the nitrogenous compounds in the soil. Whereas on the other hand we have the Rhizobium bacteria which lives in the symbiosis association with the leguminous plants. What they does is they takes up the atmospheric nitrogen and they fix it within the plant tissues and make it available to the plant. So these leguminous plants they are very rich in nitrogen. So henceforth we can use this leguminous plant as a green manure. So next we will be learning about how these bacteria they are useful in the industry. So a large number of the saprophytic bacteria they are employed, they are used in the manufacture of the various industrial products. First we have the dairy industry where we can see the butter, the cheese, yogurts these are basically prepared from the milk by the use of this lactobacillus bacteria. What they basically does is they convert the lactose sugar. This lactose sugar is present in the milk. They convert this lactose sugar into the glucose and subsequently into the lactic acid. So this lactic acid, the byproduct, what it does is it soaks the milk and ripens it, and this causes it produces the various flavors in the cheese and the butter. Next, we can see the bacteria. They are also used in the vinegar making industry, where the Bacillus acetar, it converts the sugar solution into the vinegar. These bacteria, they are also used in the preparation of the alcohol and the acetone, where the butyl alcohol and the acetone can be manufactured by using this bacteria by treating it with the molasses. Next, the bacteria, they are also used in the tea and the tobacco curing. So what is this curing? It is basically the treatment of the leaves by the bacteria. So the crude tea or the tobacco leaves, they are treated with the bacteria plus the alcohol, and this bacteria, what they does is they impart a peculiar taste and the flavors to these leaves. So next, bacteria. There are many bacteria which are also used in the leather tanning, where the bacteria, it purifies the animal hides and make them easy, clean and fit for the use for the humans. Next, there are also several bacterial groups which are used for the sewage treatment. So what this does is, basically these putrefying bacteria, they are involved in the putrefaction, that is the decomposition. Therefore, they are also termed as the putrefying bacteria. So these putrefying bacteria, they are allowed to act upon the sewage and in the anaerobic condition. So henceforth this sewage, it is decayed and it is liquefied. Then further, after decaying and liquefaction, this liquid, it is filtered, and later on it can be drained out in the river or it can be used as the manure in the field. So there are also bacteria which are used for the fiber retting. So what is this retting? It is the process of separation of the fibers from the intact organic material, that is the plant. So what it does is, the plant organs basically, they are immersed in the stagnant pond of water, plus they are treated with the bacteria, that is the Clostridium bactericum. So this bacteria, what it does is, it decays the softer tissues and the tender fibers. They separate the fibers from the intact plant tissues. The sources are fibers of the flax, hemp, jute, cotton, etc. So basically the separated fibers now, it can be used for the making of the ropes and the sacks. So there are also bacterial groups which are used for the commercial production of the various dietary supplements. We have the example such as the Escherichia coli, basically known as the E. coli, which is used for the production of the riboflavin and the vitamin K. Next, there are also bacterial groups which are used for the preparation of the different vaccines and the serums to treat the various ailments or the diseases in the humans and the plants. Medicines such as the antibiotics. What are these antibiotics? These are those medicines which are produced by the bacteria in response to the other infection. We have the examples such as the streptomycin, aureomycin or the chloromycetin. Basically the streptomycin, this antibiotic, it is used for the treatment against the streptococcus bacteria. Next, now we will be learning about the harmful bacteria. How these harmful bacteria affect us. These harmful bacteria, they are also termed as the pathogenic bacteria because they causes the infection in the plants, animals and even the human beings, and they can lead to the death of the certain organisms. There are several diseases which is caused in the humans and animals. We have pneumonia, which is basically caused by the Diplococcus pneumoniae. This is the causal organism. Next, we have the Asiatic cholera, which is caused by the Vibrio coma bacteria. Next, we have the typhoid fever, which is caused by the Salmonella typhosa. Next, we have the tuberculosis, basically known as the TB, which is caused by the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Next, we have the red bite fever, which is caused by the Spiralium minus. So these harmful bacteria, the pathogenic bacteria, it can create a havoc in the life of the various animals and even the humans. Next, there are also bacterial groups which causes the diseases in the plants. We have the several diseases like the bacterial wilt of tomato. Here the bacterial wilt is the disease and the tomato is the host, which is caused by the causal organism, that is the Pseudomonas solanacearum. Next, we have the other disease, that is the citrus canker, which is caused by the Xanthomonas citra species. Next, we have the fire blight of the apples and the pears, which is caused by the Erwinia amylovora. Next example of the disease, we have the leaf spot of cotton, which is caused by the Xanthomonas malvacearum. Next, we have the scab of potato, which is caused by the Streptomyces scabies. So, basically, these diseases which is caused in the plants, they causes the loss in the yield of the agriculture and basically the productivity. So, if the plants are diseased, they can lead to the decrease in the productivity and henceforth the economy can be reduced. So there are also several groups of bacteria which causes the spoilage of the food. We can see some saprophytic bacteria which grow on the unprotected foodstuffs like the fruits, the pickles, jams, jellies and the bread, and they causes them to decay. So what they does is basically this bacteria, when they grow on the open food, they will produce the toxins which are harmful to the living beings. So the major spoilage organisms, these are the Lactobacillus and the Leuconostoc species. We have the other group of organisms. We have this Clostridium botulinum species. What it does is it basically produces a very virulent poison in the canned food, which can lead to the death of the living organism. So we have learned before that the group of bacteria, they increases the fertility of the soil. We also have the certain group of bacteria which causes the loss of fertility of the soil. These bacteria, they are termed as the denitrifying bacteria. What they does is this denitrifying bacteria, they are anaerobic. They doesn't require oxygen to grow. So when the soil is not aerated properly, this denitrifying bacteria, they grows and they reduces the available nitrate form of nitrogen to the non-available form of nitrogen, which can't be utilized by the plant. So this denitrifying bacteria, such as the Bacillus denitrificans, it reduces the nitrates to the nitrites and subsequently to the ammonium compounds and liberates the free nitrogen in the atmosphere. Henceforth, the soil, it reduces the fertility of the soil. So at the last, we have the references and the credits. We have the references includes the Botany of Degree Students of Biodiversity by Pandey BP. Then we have the Prescott's Principle of Microbiology from the John M. Wiley et al. And the hyperlink we have https wikipedia.org. It is the economic importance of bacteria. Thank you.